we'll continue with a keynote by someone that has been in France, perhaps one of the first to talk about the Internet of Things and to address this topic towards brands. His name is Michel Levy-Provencal. He's the co-founder and CEO of JoshFire, and his job is to help companies to embrace the Internet of Things as a marketing and communication strategy. So, Michel Levy-Provencal, you can join me on stage.
Hi, everybody. My name is Michel Levy-Provencal. I'm the founder and CEO of JoshFire. It's a French company specialized in developing solutions for the Internet of Things. We are designing and developing physical and digital interactive solutions for brands. I will show you some examples just in a few moments. But I would like to start by saying that building an Internet of Things company in 2010 in France, it's not easy. When we started, some people thought we were a crazy team of geeks playing with Arduinos, and others identified us as a home automation company. You know, there's a word for that in French. This is domotique. At that moment, we asked ourselves, how the hell can we change that? I mean, how can we push a little bit further the innovation challenge? And maybe to try to find a market. Because we had a vision and we wanted to implement it. The vision was resumed in one word. This word is UB Media. Maybe you know it. It's coming from a book written by Adam Greenfield, which is everywhere. Adam Greenfield defines UB Media as ubiquitous computing. So we interpreted this definition as an invitation to connect every object, everything around us to the Internet and transform it into a sensor or a broadcaster. So we started to hack and prototype connected objects. It was 2 years ago. We started by creating a connected couch. A couch that recognizes you when you sit on it and displays contents, videos, that match your preferences on a smart TV. And this physical digital radio that plays podcasts and music using RFID cartridges. And after several months, we designed and built the JoshFire interactive mirror for the bathroom. It's a whole new app platform for contents. It can read podcasts, music, display alerts, etc. So every morning, for example, with this mirror in your bathroom, you can brush your teeth and watch news, access to your emails, access to the weather. It was the first object we sold to two big brands who wanted to present some innovations in their showrooms. It was last year, in the beginning of last year. We did some other stuff, like this interactive table for a big bank, a French bank, or this 4-square RFID booth, which allows you to check in with a simple conference pass or packing pass, for example, or the Twitter booth. It's exactly the same concept, and those booths, those ones, were used by 1,000 attendees during several TEDx events last year. One of the last projects we designed is Artifacts. It's a series of interactive objects that displays basic information coming from the Internet simply by blowing. It's a contextual, passive alerting system connected to Internet feeds. So after 2 years working on every kind of devices, from mobile, TV, smartphones, couches, mirrors, booths, tables, well, I'm convinced that the Internet of Things is much more an evolution than a real revolution. Everything started, in fact, with the mobile, which is the real object that changed the game. You know those figures. Today, there are 10 billion connected devices all over the globe. In 2015, analysts predict around 15 billion devices. In 2020, in 7 years, between 20 to 50 billion connected devices. And just 20 billion of them are only evolutions of devices we already know today. So the conclusion is that up to 30 billion of new objects have to be invented and manufactured from scratch within 7 years. It's amazing. But this is tomorrow. Let's talk about today and the Internet of Things today. I'm convinced that our relation to the Internet of Things today is exactly the same the one we had with the Internet in the late 90s. A lot of fascination, few great ideas, and some buzzy projects. But for me, the most important analogy is the fact that today, our customers are using innovation, new devices, and connected objects to mainly advertise and promote their brands. Like they did with the web in the late 90s. You remember? They started to use the web for marketing and advertising. I would like to give you an example and present you a use case. 8 months ago, BETC, which is a French advertising agency, called us because they wanted to create a connected object for one of their customers. This customer was Evian. You know it, the French water. This object was designed to physically embody a new service that Evian launched this year. The service name is evianchezvous.com. Alexis Tobelem, who was here yesterday, talked very briefly about this project. But let's watch a short video presenting the concept and the object we've developed for Evian.
French people drink 148 liters of mineral water a year, with a consumption peak for pregnant women and babies. But we don't want pregnant women and babies carrying water, do we? So Evian launches evianchezvous.com, a mineral water home delivery service. Because we wanted to make it as easy to order water as it is to receive it, we invented the Smart Drop, a digital object that connects your fridge to the internet. You know, it's when you go to brush your teeth that you discover that the toothpaste tube is empty. It's when you're already in the bathroom that you realize that there's no toilet paper left. And it's obviously in the kitchen that you think about buying water. With the Smart Drop, choose your favorite Evian products, pick the quantities, confirm the time and date of delivery. Your order is then sent through the integrated Wi-Fi system. The Smart Drop made the press and bloggers curious. In a few weeks, there were over 11,000 mentions of the Smart Drop on the internet and in the press, including dozens of national media and the most important news radio stations in the country. The Smart Drop became known internationally after being mentioned on the famous geek blogs Mashable and Gizmodo.
So the Smart Drop is a Wi-Fi device with an LCD screen, a battery, a motherboard, and a thermoformed shell. It's quite simple, technically, I mean. But I would like to give you some more information about the ad campaign. The Evian Chez Vous BETC campaign was launched in June 6, 2012. I love this campaign, really. On June 6 at noon, we at JoshFire published an article presenting the drop on our website and on Facebook and Twitter. 5 days after, June 11, Advertising Age is talking about the drop. The day after, June 12, Mashable is talking about the drop. The same day, the Smart Drop reached the Twitter top news and the world tour starts. What happened? Blogs and news websites are talking about the project in the US, in the UK, in Asia, in Africa. evianchezvous.com sales doubled the months of the Smart Drop launch. But what we learned from this experience? You know, each generation have seen a new way to communicate. Nowadays, brand tries to be remarkable by communicating through experiences that make them different. You know, the purple cow. Different through contents, like AT&T did with Daybreak, one of the best web documentary ever. Different through events, like Red Bull did with this crazy Stratos experience. We have, with the Evian use case, a very interesting example of communication through a physical, digital, interactive brand object. This brand object embodies a service. It incarnates a product and personifies a brand. This new way to communicate and generate the buzz is something quite interesting we should keep in mind. But the Smart Drop is much more than an ad campaign. Because next year, Evian is going to manufacture and distribute the drop to the most value Evian Chez Vous customers. Indeed, Evian has launched a manufacturing process to transform this prototype into a market product. So beyond the advertising, beyond the communication, what we are talking here about is the creation of a mass market product, the Smart Drop. And everything started with an ad campaign. It used to be the opposite, no? So more than advertising, using a buzzword, what we are doing here, I think, is to prepare a new market and contribute to educate it. This market is the Internet of Things market. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michel. Let's have a quick chat, the same. Very interesting project that you had with Evian. Okay, I will start with this one. Do you know other example of like big brands like FMCG, so fast-moving consumer goods, that do embrace or that did start some project like that? Other example in mind?
Yeah, we have examples. For example, Axe, which is a well-known brand, did something, an event, I think it was last year, on a boat in Paris, using a lot of different connected objects. It was more an event than a big ad campaign using an object, but there are more and more brands that are using objects to create the buzz. Those objects embodies their brand, their service, their products. We are also working on one of them. I cannot communicate right now on this because it will be live, I think, in 2 or 3 months. But this is beginning, I think. But
and as you said, sometimes it's more on the marketing side than on a product side, except Evian. But it's usually
you're right. The other part, which is very important, is that big companies, and particularly in the industry, people are trying to transform their product into connected products. You know, internet have changed a lot of things the last 20 years. It started with communication, marketing, advertising. After that, we started to change our processes. After that, we changed the way we sell products. And I think we are at a stage now where the products are changing. The product, the manufactured product is changing.
Yeah, but sorry to interrupt you, but the Evian example, they didn't change their product. They created a new connected device.
Exactly.
But the bottle is not connected yet, right? So we're still creating new products, like the mirror you've created, that's adapting an existing product, so more on this direction?
Well, they are creating a new product to help them to sell their classical product. This is the important thing. But I think there are other industries where the product itself is changing into a connected product because, you know, the intelligence is coming inside something that is quite physical and basical. And this is the important thing I think we should see and we should follow.
Okay, and so you just said there are other industries. Do you see a difference in, like, what are the most interesting industries for this specific topic? Food, is it the number one?
Yeah, we know the brand, for example, Seb. I know Seb is working on this too. Other industries in the utilities, like Legrand, are working too on those questions. I think it's something that, what I said before about the fact that the Internet of Things is at a period like Internet was in the 90s, you know, it's really starting. We have 5 to 7 years now to really change not the processes, but directly the products. And I think, well, with our experience, that it will start with the advertising campaigns, with the marketing, and exactly like Evian did, which is quite bizarre, because we started with an ad campaign, and this ad campaign created a product, you know? It's exactly the opposite that we should see. We should create a product and then advertise on it. So I think, like Internet did in the late 90s, we will see something change in the 5 or 7 years coming.
Okay, but you know, when you say to brands and big companies and it's the beginning, they will understand it that don't go there. Because they will think, yeah, okay, if it's the beginning, I don't have to take risks, so I will wait 3, 4, 5 years before I go and test something. Do you advise brands and companies to test on the advertising side and see if it can be changed in a new product, as with Evian?
I think the first commerce will be very successful, because it's a new place, it's a new territory. They should go right now. Yes. They
should go right now. All right. Do you? Yeah, we have 2 minutes. That's fine. Do you see any differences in countries? As for the Dropbox, the
Smart Drop.
Smart Drop, Dropbox, something else. The Smart Drop, it has been launched and tested in different countries, or?
No, for now it's more a prototype. Yeah. So I know that the buzz has been worldwide. Okay. So I don't have much more information about the Evian strategy and where they will distribute. And from your
perspective, will you launch it in developed countries, or why not anywhere?
I think there are several countries and regions where it should be very interesting to launch it. In Middle East, I think. Of course, in the US, and in a way in Asia too, and in Russia.
Okay. Do you have any last advice you want to give to marketers here or entrepreneurs?
Oh yeah, I think we have 5 years, like in the late 90s with the internet, to create something huge with the Internet of Things. And if you want to make fortune, let's start today. I mean.
All right, I'll start tomorrow then. Thank you, Michel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.